I love this park. I mean, I was saying that, when my son was like 8 or 9 years old, every summer I would take him on a trip to 3 or 4 ballparks around the country. And by the time he was 17, we had been to every ballpark in the country, and we actually went back a couple of places because they had built new parks.
Are you a big baseball fan?
Huge baseball fan.
Yeah, I know you're from New York. Are you still a New Yorker?
Well, I was a big New York Giant fan. I was born in the Bronx. Big loved Willie Mays, and even when they moved to San Francisco, I stayed a Giant fan, even though we lived in Los Angeles at the time. And then when they sold Mays at the end of his career, I got mad. And I said, I'll become a Dodger fan at that point.
Are you going to throw out the first pitch, I guess?
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me.
Have you practiced?
No, I haven't practiced, but I just hope I don't embarrass myself, because there's nothing worse than bouncing it. I remember one time I threw out the first pitch at a Phillies game, and I hit the Philly fanatic in the leg with the ball. As a matter of fact, I was rooting for them last year because of what happened with the Boston Marathon. I thought that the city really needed to have that, and I was glad that they had won. And they started a trend now, because I thought I started with the beard, but once all those Red Sox players having the beards, now everybody in the major leagues, they all have beards now. The movie it's called And So It Goes. It opens July 18th. It stars Michael Douglas and Diane Keaton, and it's a great love story for people finding each other at that stage of life. Well, that's what studios put out, basically these big blockbuster type, superhero type movies. And so it's rare that you see adult themed pictures, especially in the summertime. So we did pretty well with Bucket List, so we think hopefully we'll do okay with this one. Now, I'd worked with Michael Douglas in the past on American President. I'd never worked with Diane, and I loved working with her because she works very much like the way I do. She tells me before we started shooting the movie, she says, I don't act. I just am what I am, And I said, well, that's great, because who you are is sensational. And she loves to improvise. She likes to take the words and make them her own and in her own way. And I work that pretty much the same way, so I loved working with her. The two of them have great chemistry together. Well, I like directing, probably. It's the most engaging, it's the most involving, and acting's probably the most fun. When I get to act, and I did last year in Wolf of Wall Street, that was fun for me because, first of all, working with Marty Scorsese was great. But other than that, somebody else has the headaches. I don't have the headaches.
Yeah. And where do you see what's coming down the road for you?
Well, I now have more things in development than I've ever had before. I've got 3 movie projects. One with Robert De Niro. Another one is 2 young people I haven't cast yet. And then I have a thriller. So I don't know. One of them, hopefully, I'll be doing this fall. No, I might throw an EFIS pitch.
What are you doing in Boston?
Visit Red Sox
promoting this film that's coming out.
Or one of the many milestones.
You ought to be in more movies because you were great in that Wall Street.
I had fun.
And now it's time for
But they didn't have any naked women in my scenes.
I know.
Sue would be proud. That was good.
Fun.